learning, sharing, and growing. It must have been about 2 months now since my last video. And last month, that was the largest festival celebration in the world, the Chinese New Year. And during this festive season, which might be you, I went around for dinners, gatherings, meeting friends, and so on and on. And one thing I noticed, when people talk about things, the topic they talk about, there's a lot of similarities. People talk about food, people talk about material stuff like their phone. They could talk about their phone for about an hour. People talk about their children's educations, their cars, their house, and oftentimes they talk about their money. And any other things, there's not much of a different topics people talk about. So in this video, I'd like to share with you how to have good and meaningful conversations. So when you meet your friends, your relatives, during any occasions, that you can strike a more meaningful, a better conversation. Point number 1, timing. A perfect timing. Find a perfect timing to have conversation with this person. Speak about the surroundings, speak about the food, speak about something that's easy to talk about, something to warm up your conversation with that person, especially the people you have not met for a long time. Point number 2, remember their names. Check out their name, especially like the friend that I have not met for so long. Check out their names before you go to the meetings. And compliment them if there's something worth complimenting, like their hairdo, their glasses, even the dress. But be sincere when you're complimenting people. A nice way to warm up the conversation with that person. Point number 3, be sincere. And people can tell right away whether you are being sincere in that conversation or you're just trying to speak because there's no one else you can talk to. And be sincere and find common interest. Something both of you like to talk about. And you know when people like to talk about certain topic, they're more excited, they are happier, and something they like to talk about. Point number 4 is to listen. Listen attentively to what people talk about. And do ask good questions. Good questions such as open-ended questions. Sometimes people like to talk about their job, and not many people are excited about their job, and they claim their job is pretty routine. So what could you ask about is, if your job is routine, so what would you like to do? And what are things you could do so your job is not so routine? Or even sometimes I will ask people this question. Do you know any job that is not routine in this world? So it's get people start thinking. They might not be a close-ended questions. The most important thing that you have these conversations to get people's interest so that you can continue in that topic. Point number 5 is to expand your knowledge. A lot of time in a conversation we didn't have much to talk about because there is a limitation in terms of our knowledge of what to talk about. So do read out. And I read quite a varieties of different topics. And so when I meet different people, I can strike a conversation easily. So expand your knowledge by reading, watching YouTube, and there are many materials that you can find just to expand. And you don't have to read a lot, just read a little about it. And that's all I'd like to share with you about how to have good and meaningful conversations. And we'll speak again.